Good day, people. I've been thinking about ISIS a lot. About 4 months ago, I told many people, and just about a month ago, I told somebody else, that ISIS, if I get elected president in 2016 and become president in 2017, ISIS will be my problem, and I will handle that problem. I knew what I was talking about when I said that. And now if you listen to Obama, it's going to be my problem. But let's do a little comparison. Our great president compared ISIS to the Crusades, compared it to the Spanish Inquisition. He left out the religious revolution, religious persecution in England. He left out other religious persecutions if you wanted to use them. Is that an excuse for ISIS? Failures in the past, is that an excuse for ISIS? Is that even reason for understanding something that has far beyond? I mean, if you go into the Bible, you will see what's going on with ISIS had gone on with different types of quote unquote pagan religions in the same area. The Babylonians over the Israelites, the Egyptians over the Babylonians, etc., 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 etc. And the type of atrocities that we see today were there. So really, how much progress has man made in the area of the Middle East, or where they say the Garden of Eden, which it never was, as far as I'm concerned, where man, the cradle of life. How much progress? Well, the machines we use to kill each other has went from rocks, stones, and sticks to guns, missiles, rockets, and planes. But they're still killing each other. See, so I could go back as far as history of man on this basically planet and show the atrocities that are being formed by ISIS, or whatever you want to call them. The truth is, does that make it right? Is it okay for ISIS to do what ISIS is doing? Is it alright for ISIS to kill innocent women, children, and other men? Well, let's really compare ISIS in another aspect. Adolf Hitler. He persecuted religious people because of his religious beliefs. Now we could go to Napoleon too. We could compare ISIS to Napoleon's time. So you see, we could compare the evils to the evils before and before and before and before and before. The truth is, people, when I get elected in 2016, ISIS will be my problem, and I will handle it accordingly. What will I do? Well, remember, I don't play games. I'm always out to win, and I love to cheat. So, shall I tell you any more? Well, I'll tell you this much about my plans of what I will do. Ask me no questions. I tell you no lies. Oh, I repeated that before, haven't I? Many times. Ask me no questions. I'll tell you no lies. And what did I tell you follows that if you insist upon an answer? A big, bold-faced lie. So ask me no questions, because I'm not going to tell you what I will do. But I will promise you this. I will send ISIL straight to hell. And there's one thing you all must realize by now about JD. His promise is his word. As far as promises go to you, the people, there's only three. One, to bring your voice to Washington, D.C. Two, to have the federal government serve the people, and not the people the servants of the federal government. And four, to bring leadership to Washington, D.C. And that you will see when I handle the problem with ISIS, or whatever you want to call them. So, people, you could listen to someone give you a history lesson and kind of excuse what's going on, which has no excuse. Or you could say, it's time we, as people, start realizing each and every one of us are brothers and sisters in this world. And though we may have different beliefs, and we may live in different nations, and have different governments, we are still brothers and sisters, and we must learn to accept each other as each other is, are, or shall be. And that is the answer to solve the problems that are having within this world. Heck, what's my foreign policy? Each and every nation shall exist. It is only up to, and they have that right to exist, and it is only up to the people within that nation to decide how they shall be governed, and who shall govern them, and what type of government they will have. Not the rest of the world, especially our Congress. The people within that nation. Heck, we must give them the exact same respect we want in return. We would not tolerate anybody coming into our country telling us what type of government we have, what type of religion we're going to believe, what type of language we're going to use, or anything of that such matter. So why is it okay for our Congress to do just the opposite? It isn't. We, the people of the United States, must teach the world through our actions, not our words, our actions, that we are all brothers and sisters. Let them see a nation of all the people together. Let them see a nation of one, the people that are the rulers of the government, and not the government the dictators of the people. Let them see a nation where all religions can be practiced freely without hindrance from the government, like the Supreme Court, which says no prayer in school. Well, unfortunately, there's nothing in the Constitution that tells them they have that authority. There's actually nothing in our government that regulates separation of church and state. Only the teachings of Christ is what it's all based on. Render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, and render unto God what is God's. And never shall the twain mix. Oh, by the way, that's my part. So people, all I can tell you is we together, you and me, will be able to handle and fix the problems that ISIS or ISIL or whatever you want to call them shall create. And when we do it, I promise you that the finger of God will touch the earth. It will happen. People, I'm not that religious to say, oh, well, God's going to do everything. No. But I am this way. Whenever there's a door that is closed, God will open 100 others. We have to decide which door to choose. And we have to get up and walk through that door to reach the benefits or the displeasures of the door we choose. We must do our best, our very best, and above all else, while we're doing our best, our very best, trusting God that we are doing just that, our very best, for you, me, our nation, and our world. Trusting God means much more than trust in God. It means we together must do our best and trust in God that we are doing the right thing. So, people, yes, you know, I believe in God. I will always believe in God. There's nobody to take that away. I got one step beyond that. I'm not only believe, I don't even believe in God. I know of God, and I know of Jesus. The difference what you believe is you believe something to be true. Know of means you know that to be is true. Example, a man who never touches water will believe it's wet. A man who never touches fire will believe it's hot. But a man who touches water knows it's wet, and a man who touches fire knows it's hot. Thank you. Oh, by the way, in that, they also know what wet is, and they know what hot is. Where the person who believes that never touched believes he knows what wet is, and a person who never touched fire believes he knows what hot is. But the one who touched water knows what wet is, and the one who touched fire knows what hot is. That's the difference between believe and knows. So, people, yes, 2016, JD will be elected. Yes, 2017, when he's sworn in, like everything else that's going to be handed out, it will become JD's and the people's responsibility. Thank you for your time. I hope you understand what I'm saying here. Have a nice day. Thank you.